We going? Alright, gentlemen, here we are. The Sphinx would like to remind you to be quiet.
Yeah. Thank you. The management. The unnamed management.
The management. Thanks.
Okay.
Get the hell out of this Sphinx.
We can't cut off the first top of that. As we like it. Cold and in our mouths.
Beer.
It's good.
Sparkling. Golden. Pure. Refreshing.
Apparently really carbonated.
A beverage as old as history.
Are you sure it's not champagne?
The ancient Babylonians were probably the first
We're
to brew beer.
soused.
The Asian Babylonians, what?
Brewed a beverage from fermented barley. It was a beer reserved for the...
Where did you got the idea for that, you know? Here, let's take this rotten liquid and make it. Lots of it.
Introduced the beer to the Western civilization of the day, as Caesar and his warriors...
To our livers!
...to their victory.
Cirrhosis, ho!
With the development of many brewing formulas, the improved brews were well established as fine beverages, high in food value, by the time the Pilgrims set out.
Why did you tell us to abandon ship?
Later,
This place
taverns
sucks!
became the meeting places of men who helped make American history as they enjoyed
Because they
their
were
favorite
drunk.
brew. Yes, the fine beer and ale
Yes,
we
that
enjoy
beer, the
today
concept of America
are
would not have been
beverages of a
bad.
heritage which is unequal.
It's all
Yet they are
thanks
as modern
to beer.
as today.
George
In
Washington,
today's
we were
brewing
all drunk
laboratories,
when he had the
knowledge
idea
passed down through
of
the
running
centuries
governed
is
by the
combined
people.
with modern
You could have
chemistry
thought
of
something
food
stupid as that.
to produce beverages that would have been the envy of
Wait,
the
now wasn't this
kings
just in
and
color?
emperors of old. From the
No,
laboratory to the tanks,
What
where the
if we mix
finest
this
of American
red
malted
stuff
grains are
with this
fermented,
yellowish stuff?
the beer of today is
Think it
brewed
might
under
work.
spotless
This
clean conditions.
is beer.
Modern scientific instruments control the
Here we
entire
have the
brewing
local
process.
beer waterfall.
No other food products get
A
more
trickling
careful
stream
attention
of
to manufacture than American beer and
People
ale.
flock from miles round
In
to
addition,
bask in
the
its
brewing of
glory.
this fine beer and ale today is one of America's great industries.
So here, the man with the poorest liver health in the world.
Some 400 modern breweries
This building is
in operation
made
today
from solid
represent an
beer.
investment of more than $2 billion
We
in buildings
froze
and
it.
equipment.
$2 billion.
To staff these breweries
For some reason.
requires nearly 100,000 employees,
Wearing their Sunday
earning
best.
$350 million a year.
Combined, hopefully.
American farms supply most of the
That means
ingredients
they only make like
required for
$35 a
brewing.
year.
Barley,
Exactly.
wheat, corn, rice, hops, and soybeans. Thousands of tons of it. To be more specific,
Peanuts, I see
every year
rice.
the
Some
farmers of
popcorn.
America sell the breweries more than 1 billion pounds
This
of
guy
farm
really likes
products
numbers, doesn't he?
worth $250 million.
Yes, we know what 250
From
million
these
looks like,
fine
honey.
golden grains, the breweries produce over 1 billion gallons of immaculately pure beer and ale in
I
barrels,
think this guy likes beer a
cans,
bit
and
too
bottles
much.
to suit every taste, occasion, and personal preference. Beverages high in food value and rich in tradition.
Food value? How do you
Ready
measure
to
something's
add to
food
great
value?
One thing people do
The
not
American
know is
way.
that beer
About
companies are
1/4
actually
of the
owned
spent
by
grain
liver
goes
surgeons.
back to the
Yes,
farms
just
and
so they
cattle
can make
It's
feeds.
a
money.
pyramid scheme.
Because of the high concentration of protein
Here we
and
see
fat,
cows enjoying
the spent
beer.
grains are of special value in increasing
Fields and
production.
fields of beer!
In addition,
Far as
the
the eye can
excess
see.
brewer's yeast is one of the richest sources
In addition,
of
we put all this
vitamin
stuff in beer.
We have
Much of it is used in
some
preparation of
sprees and some
vitamin
Myconites, of
extract,
course.
And some iodine. Goes
These
right into it.
byproducts are, of course, untaxed.
Here we see the cow's suppository.
But the beer and ale itself are due to heavy direct federal
The beer ale itself are too heavy.
taxes which help pay the cost
Here we
of
see a
fine
German
schools,
house where beer was first
modern
made.
highways for our
This
tourism
car runs on beer.
communication, and operation
This
of our
government runs on beer.
Taxes on beer and ale provide $850
Yes, we know what it
a
looks
year
like.
to state and federal governments. This is in addition to the
That's how much
property
money
and
the government
income
spends on
taxes
beer a year.
paid by the brewers,
See
beer
it.
distributors,
This is how we
retailer,
work.
and
We
their
have lots of people
respective
walk
employees.
around, and then two people actually make the
Brewing
beer.
Somehow beer comes out of this. We don't know either. We are complaining.
In fine malt beverages, employment, raw material purchases,
And beer.
byproducts, and
Domestic violence.
And so are the people who form the link between
You cannot
the
work
brewers
here
and
unless you
consuming
wear a
public.
hat.
As the connecting link, the men and women who distribute, sell, and serve malt
Here we have a
beverages
chain gang.
have a two-way responsibility.
Here we see the pyramid scheme
To
of
the
beer.
brewers, they responsible for the protection of the
What a
quality of the
microchip.
beer and ale they handle.
Think
To
that's
the
a
American
factor.
public, the sellers and
The
servers
American
of
public
beer
shown
have
here
an
by
even greater
nipples.
responsibility. And that's because, to the public,
They're
they
trashed.
are the brewing industry. They are good American
Here's this
citizens
woman. She should
who
be in
take
the
their
kitchen.
responsibility
They're in
seriously.
suspended animation.
The distributors, for example,
Here's the milkman
they
who's
know the
whose supply
importance
got
of cleanliness.
switched with beer.
Yeah.
They make every effort
He's not
to keep the
complaining.
storage buildings and delivery trucks spotless.
Everyone
drivers
waits
know the
till 5
importance
a.m. in the
of
morning when the
cleanliness,
beer truck comes
courtesy,
around.
and observance of traffic
They hear the
regulations.
jingle and they all flock outside.
You look outside, what do you
And
see?
takeout store
The beer
operators
truck
who
riding off
realize
into the
the
sunset.
importance of
It's a
cleanliness,
beautiful way to wake up.
observance of the law, and service to the public. They know, for example,
Here, kid, have a
the public
frosty one.
expects
On
them to
me.
stock beer and ale in
Self-serve.
various sizes of bottles
That
and
is something
cans
you
available,
don't tell alcoholics.
as well
No.
as in a choice of brands.
No, it's an all-you-can-eat beer
And as good
buffet.
American citizens,
For free.
they know and obey the laws and regulations pertaining to the sale of beer, as well as
I wonder if
all
this
the laws
narrator knows that there's a
governing
reason that this law exists.
But the enjoyment of beer by Americans is not limited to family and neighborhood gatherings.
It's limited to hobos.
Inns and taverns
Alcoholics,
are part of
hobos,
American
abusive
history.
fathers, love beer.
Today's taverns, though much more modern, strive to live up to the reputation established by the famous places of the past.
Yes, beer's wonderful
Cleanliness
reputation.
is
What
still
with the
the
like
aim.
800,000
Whether it be a
deaths a year
sophisticated
ago.
lounge, a small place in the industrial section of town, or
Size of a
the
man.
average
Come to
tavern
Vincent's,
in the
where we put a
average
bottle of
neighborhood.
beer on your pillow and save a
The
crappy
neighborhood
man.
tavern is a friendly meeting place for the community.
Hey there, how you
average
doing? Well, no
citizen
one else
club.
is here. I guess it's probably 'cause I
He's
raped him.
older, he's just another
You know, I
customer.
shot the last guy who looked at me like
He
that.
knows that he and his operation reflect on the whole
It's
brewing
that.
industry. He wants to keep that reflection.
Here we see the bartender having a bit too much of his
That's why
own
he
product.
practices the 5 tested principles of good
Okay, next
tavern
slide,
operation.
please. We've seen it.
First of
Who's been
all,
cleaning that
he
cup for the
protects
last hour?
the quality of the beer and ale he sells by serving it at the right temperature, whether it be in bottles or on
90
draft.
degrees Fahrenheit.
Second, that he's serving beverages which are made under immaculate condition.
That's the third time this narrator said immaculate. I don't think I've said that word like once in the past
clean
year.
surroundings. What's more, he knows that a tavern should be a friendly place where people can relax.
That's why he keeps the great equalizer,
enjoy
as he calls it,
sparkling
under his
malt
desk, in
beverages.
case people get out of hand.
People who come into his place are his guests.
You guys
Call
ready,
that
sir?
hospitality. Something people expect in a tavern.
Can I
That's
help you
especially
guys?
important when it comes to serving members of the armed forces, whether they be from a nearby
Baby
post,
killer.
just passing through, or residents
Just
of the
kick
community
him a
on
nice
leave.
cold one before I go fly a
The
plane.
tavern operator
Because
knows
I'm not
he
gonna
and the
get shipped
community
out, so
have a
I'm gonna get
responsibility to servicemen and women. He works with armed forces officials in all matters which might involve his operation.
How
so
about
far
you
as
give
servicemen and
me
women are
an
concerned.
artillery cannon and some
that
assault
brings us to the
rifles
next
for a
principle
keg
of
of
tavern
beer?
operation.
Well, okay.
Well, I'll bring up my superiors. You
Of
got
the
a deal.
laws. A good operator knows that laws are designed to help preserve the
Everyone
rights
knows
of
that
everyone.
21-year-olds
He makes
are
every
completely
effort to
distinguishable
and
between
cooperates fully with all
no
law
one.
enforcement
21-year-olds
agencies.
could be 12-year-olds. They could be
Being a good
50-year-olds.
citizen
Don't ID
is
anyone.
the fifth
Doesn't matter.
principle of good tavern operation. He knows the public expects him
McKinley.
and other businessmen to take an active part in all worthy local activities.
Hey, everyone look at
He
me,
knows
I
he
have a
must
neon
also serve on
sign.
committees and support activities like
Do I want
the
to put
community
this in?
chest,
He's
March
having,
of Dimes,
he's having quite the
Cancer
part.
Fund,
Cancer
Chamber of
farts for
Commerce,
women.
and similar organizations. Yes, quality
I should really clean this off.
cleanliness, friendliness,
Who wrote this on my mirror? Who did it?
and good
Was it you?
I swear I pass out for one day and this is what happens.
There are some who look for
Got
any
beer
opportunity
here?
to magnify
Nope.
every mistake
Screw you.
and use it to seek prohibition of the malt beverages, which
like Al
adds to the
Capone, see
enjoyment
here.
of gracious living. However, more than 1 million Americans are a part of this great industry.
We just saw these
They
guys.
and the millions more Americans whom they serve continue to live up to the fine heritage of beer and brewing. We can continue to enjoy gracious living with the help
I
of
can't
fine
believe one
beer
guy
and
drank
ale.
8 beers.
Gracious living, self-government,
houses.
Domestic violence.
Tied to the way
Abused
of doing
stepchildren.
things that have made the American economy what it is
Liver
today.
failure.
Bad
And
driving.
helped make America great.
Firearm
That's
accidents.
the way we, as Americans, like it.
Truck. I want to see the rest of the series of the United States Brewers Foundation Inc. name.
I really don't care that much.
This is one of the better things we've seen.
Yeah, but that's kind of like saying. That's kind of like saying.
AIDS is a much better disease than cancer.